This is the QTV Nightly News, and I am Loliam Kamara. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs is convening a two-day multi-stakeholder forum to initiate the implementation of the Global Risk Modeling Alliance in the Gambia. The Minister of Trade, Babukar Ojuf, recently informed lawmakers at the National Assembly that his ministry has finalized a comprehensive national domestic strategy designed to boost trade at the weekly popular markets, commonly known as LUMOs. The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology on Wednesday held a validation forum for the 2024 Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET graduate Theresa study. In international news, Senegal's parliament has approved amendments to an amnesty law that now permits the investigation and prosecution of former officials from ex-president Macky Sall's regime for human rights violations. In sports news, we hear from the Lower Nuimi Girls Football Club, a group of dynamic young girls determined to achieve success despite facing challenges and stereotypes. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. In another significant step towards strengthening the Gambia's resilience to climate change and disaster risk management, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs is convening a two-day multi-stakeholder workshop to initiate the implementation of the Global Risk Modeling Alliance in the Gambia. Aliou Cisse reports.
Supported by the Vulnerable 20 Group V20 and funded by the German government, the Global Risk Modeling Alliance aims to assist V20 member countries of the V20 group, including the Gambia, in enhancing their capabilities for climate and disaster risk management. The workshop's objective is to familiarize key officials and experts with the program, co-define the project scope, assess capacity needs, and collaboratively develop a roadmap for effective implementation. Dr. Simon Wild, Global Risk Modeling Alliance, Boubacar Zaidi Jallo, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Environment and Climate Change, and Ansumana Sane, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, respectively, said the program comes at a time when the globe is becoming more vulnerable to the negative impacts of climate change. They emphasized the importance of collaboration to effectively implement disaster risk prevention and management.
And we set out to provide the tools and the capacities and the capabilities for governments to make informed decisions with the support of stakeholders in the country. And we really strongly believe that this is very possible, and in the Gambia it exists, the foundations exist to make this a very successful program.
The workshop therefore represents a significant step towards translating our shared vision into actionable strategies within the GRMA framework, where empirical data will inform our local adaptation efforts. The objectives of this workshop are strongly aligned with our national priorities, particularly strengthening local capacity to autonomously assess and manage climate and disaster risks through enhanced training programs and technical support, as alluded to by the director.
Climate change is not a distant threat. It is a live reality and threatens our nation's development trajectory. As a V20 country, the Gambia remains highly vulnerable to climate-induced shocks that disrupt economic stability, livelihoods, and infrastructure.
As climate change continues to pose challenges, stakeholders say this initiative is essential as part of efforts to strengthen the Gambia's resilience and ensure development. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Minister of Trade, Employment, Regional Integration, Babukar Ojuf, recently informed lawmakers at the National Assembly that his ministry has finalized a comprehensive national domestic strategy designed to boost trade at the weekly popular markets, commonly known as LUMOs. Osman Jata tells us more.
Weekly informal markets, widely known as LUMOs, play a vital role in the Gambia's rural economy, offering a platform for numerous traders and vendors who often travel long distances to sell their goods. Trade Minister Babukar Ojuf informed Parliament about his ministry's ongoing efforts to enhance the trade of locally produced goods within the domestic markets.
The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment has finalized the National Domestic Strategy. The main objective of this strategy is to chart a path for enhancing trade in locally produced goods within the domestic market. Lumos play a critical role in achieving this objective. Therefore, as part of the implementation of the strategy, the Ministry is embarking on Lumo Market Modernization Program. A readiness assessment under this program has been conducted for 27 Lumo markets across the country. To pilot this program, the Ministry is collaborating with the ECOWAS Commission through the cross-border project and has support to refurbish the modernization of Wellingaraba Lumo market in LRR. The Lumo market is built with modern concrete tables, a borehole, concrete pavement, and a fence to create an enabling environment conducive to trading for the community.
By improving the infrastructure and functionality of local markets, the initiative seeks to increase trade access for small-scale producers, local farmers and artisans who often face challenges in reaching larger commercial platforms. This effort aims to create new opportunities for income generation and contribute to poverty reduction in rural areas. Minister Diouf also informed lawmakers that his ministry has partnered with Gumworks to develop a model plan for the country's local markets. The plan aims to standardize operations and establish best practices for trade, ensuring that markets nationwide are equipped to meet the growing demand for locally produced goods.
Done a tour of all the Lumos with our staff. The technicians are currently looking at the design. They collected our concept, our idea of what we really want to see in the new Lumo structure, and they've gone back to design that. They will come back and show us in 3D what the concept will be. We'll do a validation, and then that is what we will take out for mobilization of resources. We want to build all the 26 together, and then bring the Wellingaraba one also up to the same standard.
With the finalization of this strategy, the ministry is poised to move forward with the next steps, including the start of refurbishments and the implementation of new market models. These changes are anticipated to have a positive impact on local businesses and communities across the country. Osman Chata, reporting for QTV News.
On Wednesday, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology recently held a validation forum for the 2024 TVET Graduate Tracer Study. The event aimed to review key findings and strengthen future strategies for technical and vocational education and training TVET. Ma'am Nabuka was there, and this is her report.
The study, funded by the World Bank through its Central Project Coordination Unit at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, was carried out to provide an evidence-based evaluation of the outcomes of technical and vocational education and training programs in fostering economic resilience and social mobility in the Gambia. Participants will assess the findings and recommendations from the study to develop future policies and programs that address the needs of TVET graduates and the changing labor market, with the goal of enhancing the TVET sector. Here is Ndai Antatal, the project coordinator at the Ministry of Finance Central Project Coordinator Unit.
This initiative exemplifies our steadfast commitment to fostering an educational paradigm that is both responsive and transformative, with the intention to build resilience, inclusion, skills, and equity in the Gambia education and social protection sectors. The findings of this study will serve as an indispensable repository of knowledge, shaping the discourse of TVET effectiveness and providing a nuanced understanding of its impact on economic development.
Other key areas the study assessed are labor market integration and employment outcomes, social inclusion and equity in TVET access, entrepreneurial dynamism and innovation, and the effectiveness of institutional support mechanisms. The data driven from all these relevant areas is expected to provide insights that will refine TVET programs, introduce new teaching methods, and strengthening the connection between education, industry, and policy. This is Jacob Sanwidi, the representative of the Africa Label Group, who played a key role in the success of the Tracer study.
This study examines key indicators such as employment status, skills alignment, and the socio-economic impacts on graduates from 2018 to 2022. By identifying strengths and challenges within the current system, our report offers actionable insights to inform policy making, enhance program delivery, and improve the alignment between TVET education and the labor market needs.
Professor Pierre Gomez, the Minister of Higher Education, called for collective engagement in ensuring the workshop is a success.
As we validate this report today, let us reaffirm our collective responsibility to ensure that TVET remains a powerful tool for national development. Let us work together, government, training institutions, industry leaders, and development partners, to bridge the skills gap, foster entrepreneurship, and create an environment where Gambian youth can thrive in an ever-evolving job market.
The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, along with its partners, reaffirms its commitment to ensuring that technical and vocational education remains a key driver in equipping the workforce with the skills needed to foster the development of the nation and its people. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
We'll now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local, international, and sports news stories. Do stay tuned.
It is that time of the year again. The annual Taxpayers Award ceremony is back. The GRA will hold the 7th edition of the Taxpayers Appreciation and Award Ceremony on Saturday, April 12, 2025, and this time at the Coco Ocean Hotel Resort, commencing at 7 p.m. The awards is dedicated to our esteemed and valued taxpayers who consistently pay their taxes and duties on time, file their returns, present original and authentic customs documents, present accurate declarations with the right tariff and classification, and comply with the provision of the revenue laws. This grand and spectacular ceremony will be graced by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mr. Adama Barrow, Cabinet Ministers, senior government officials, members of the business community and development partners. A memorable night is assured in this year's award ceremony. Remember, GRA is your GRA. GRA is our GRA, collecting revenue for national development.
GRA.
Hello.
Oryx Service. Top teamwork for top performance.
Powered by Africa. Oryx.
We apologize for that, and we'll come back after the break. The Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital received a mammography machine on Thursday, donated by the Sunshine and Smile Trust Foundation. This important contribution aims to improve cancer screenings, enabling earlier detection and treatment for patients. Usman Jata has the details.
A mammogram is an X-ray device used to detect early signs of breast cancer, often before symptoms are noticeable. According to officials at the EFSTH, the Sunshine and Smile Trust Foundation has long been a crucial partner in supporting the country's healthcare system, especially at the hospital. Dr. Stephen Beck, chairman of the Sunshine and Smile Trust Foundation, was present at the event.
We're in the game of fighting cancer, and cancer is nasty. The sooner you can find it, the sooner you can get rid of it. So I'm very hopeful that with this machine, you can do the mammograms, find the earlier cancers, give the women a chance of cure and a happy life. So it gives me great pleasure to formally give this machine to the hospital.
Cancer, especially breast cancer, represents a major health threat in the country, particularly among women, and has become one of the most common and deadly forms of cancer. Professor Timothy Bello, head of the radiology department at EFSTH, highlighted the significant impact the new machine will have on the hospital's diagnostic capabilities.
Breast cancer is the commonest killer of women in Africa. It is cancer that kills most women in Africa. And the best way to address this issue is to realize, at least if there is one thing you will take away from this ceremony today, is that early detection saves lives. And early detection is guaranteed most times when you have a mammographic machine in service. In October last, the machine is helping us for training our doctors. It's part of the accreditation requirements of the West African College of Surgeons. And without it, it would have been very difficult for the department to be accredited.
Lamin K. Damfa, Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, emphasized the importance of the donation.
The government of the Gambia, through the Ministry of Health, is profoundly grateful for the generous support, and thank the charity Sunshine with Smile Trust for believing in our mission, making the Gambia health sector one of the best in the sub-region. Your donation of the mammographic machines at the Edward Francis Teaching Hospital will play a vital role in making our dream possible.
With this advanced equipment, healthcare providers will be able to identify potential signs of cancer at an earlier stage, significantly increasing the chances of successful treatment. Early detection is key in managing breast cancer, as it allows for timely interventions, reducing the mortality rate and improving outcomes for patients. Usman Chata, reporting for QTV News.
Coming up next is international news. In a surprising turn of events, Senegal's parliament has approved amendments to an amnesty law that now permits the investigation and prosecution of former officials from ex-President Macky Sall's regime for their involvement in the deaths of dozens of protesters between 2021 and 2024. More in this report by Ansumana Esonyasi.
The approval of the amendments to the bill effectively removes the amnesty for former regime officials implicated in the deaths of protesters who took to the streets of Dakar and other parts of Senegal to challenge what they viewed as former President Sall's attempt to seek an unconstitutional third term. Introduced and passed in the final days of his presidency under a party-dominated parliament, the bill was highly controversial. Critics argued that it was designed to shield implicated officials from any future prosecution. However, since assuming office last year, President Bassirou Diomaye Faye and his Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko have pledged that officials from the former regime implicated in the killings of protesters will be prosecuted. Most of these protests and deaths occurred after the arrest of then opposition leader, now Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko, and President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, whose first act as president was to release prisoners, many of whom had been jailed for their involvement in the protest. Although several former government and security officials, denied responsibility for the deaths, Amnesty International reported that at least 65 people were killed, the majority of them by gunfire. After a widely followed day-long debate, an overwhelming majority of 126 MPs voted in favor of the amendments to the amnesty bill, with only 20 voting against the changes. Notable revisions in the bill include provisions for prosecuting specific crimes such as murder, torture, and forced disappearances. In the Gambia, in 2016, after the removal of former President Jammeh in power, the country embarked on a significant process of healing and rebuilding through the establishment of a Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. This move was part of a broader effort to address the human rights violations and atrocities that occurred under Jammeh's 22-year rule, during which numerous abuses, including torture, extrajudicial killings, disappearances, and other forms of repression were reported. In a somewhat similar context, the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council AFPRC immunity clause was part of an agreement made when former President Jammeh and his military junta took power in 1994 following a coup that ousted then President Sadauda Kairaba Jawara. This clause granted immunity from prosecution to AFPRC members, including Jammeh, for any actions they took during the coup and their subsequent rule. It was this clause that former junta member Yankuba Toure cited during his appearance at the TRRC when he refused to answer certain questions. His refusal sparked public outrage, which ultimately led to his arrest, detention, and prosecution. Ansmane So Nyansi for KTV News.
Up next is sports news. The Lower Nuimi Girls Football Club, made up of dynamic young girls from the Lower Nuimi district, has showcased their unwavering passion for football. Despite facing challenges and stereotypes, they are determined to pursue their love for the game and achieve success. More in this report by Mamjara Kamara.
These young girls come from diverse backgrounds, yet they are united on the same pitch, all driven by a shared ambition to build a career in football. For many years, female football clubs in the North Bank region had dissolved, but in 2019, the fading passion for football was reignited in the hearts of the female players, leading to the rebirth of Lower Nuimi FC. Marijata and Yande Bob, both players on the team, share their personal stories and ambitions for football.
I travel all the way from Karang, usually leaving around 2 p.m. and arriving by 3 p.m. because we start training at exactly 4 p.m. After the session, I typically get home after 7 p.m. It's not easy. Our training schedule is intense, with both morning and afternoon sessions from Monday to Friday. But if you believe in what you are doing, you will never give up. It's our passion that keeps us going. Without it, it would be much more harder. I want to make football my career because I love the game. I have seen other women succeed in football, and that inspires me to choose it as my own path.
Although women's football is gaining popularity in the region, challenges persist, particularly with traditional gender roles and expectations placed on women. Aji Aminyan sheds light on how she copes with the negative comments she encounters from society.
People often say football is for men, but I see it as a game for everyone, regardless of gender. I don't pay attention to society's negative comments because this is my personal choice. My goal is to succeed in football and support my family. I already have the talent, and now I just need to work harder to reach my goals. Ramos is my role model. Although I don't support his team, I am a Barcelona fan. As you can see by my jersey, Ramos is aggressive, and it's not easy to tackle him on the field. I play a similar role, which is why I look up to him.
Here is Isidore Janjiba, the team's trainer, and Babu Kandong, the manager of Lower Nuimi FC.
We start our training with the basics for about an hour until 5 p.m. and then we take a break. Afterward, we focus on our drills like defense or attacks versus defense. Football is all about mastering the basics. A footballer must know how to scan the field and deliver accurate passes during the game. It's crucial. The girls here are really good with the basics and play well. Even if another team wins, they recognize that our girls played their hearts out.
For us, our project here is not only to compete in second division league or to try to win the second division league and go ahead. Look at the other aspect of it. That is, these people want to make football as their career and they want to earn something there. So this is why we allow a lot of them to go out. We have a lot of achievement because we try to get links in other neighboring countries like Senegal, because as far as football is concerned, they are a little bit higher than us.
In the Gambia, football is a male-dominated sport, with most leagues and competitions being led by men. However, these young girls remain optimistic about the future, holding on to the hope that one day they will etch their names among the legends of women's football in the Gambia. For QTV News, I am Mam Jara Kamara.
Before we end, here's a recap of the headlines. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs is convening a two-day multi-stakeholder forum to initiate the implementation of the Global Risk Modeling Alliance in the Gambia. The Minister of Trade, Babukar Ojuv, recently informed lawmakers at the National Assembly that his ministry has finalized a comprehensive national domestic strategy designed to boost trade at the weekly popular markets, commonly known as LUMOs. The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology on Wednesday held a validation forum for the 2024 Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET Graduate Tracer Study. In international news, Senegal's parliament has approved amendments to an amnesty law that now permits the investigation and prosecution of former officials from ex-President Macky Sall's regime for human rights violations. In sports news, we heard from the Lower Nuimi Girls Football Club, a group of dynamic young girls determined to achieve success despite facing challenges and stereotypes. That's all for now in this news bulletin. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.